and welcome to World Insight with me, Tian, coming to you from Boao, Hainan Province, on the sideline of the Boao Forum for Asia. The annual forum opened Thursday with the theme Asia in a Changing World Towards a Shared Future. Amid all changes, businesses are looking for places for stability and potential and be a part of it. That is what Abdulrahman Al-Fageeh, CEO and executive board member of the Saudi Arabia Basic Industries Corporation, or SABIC, told me. As a business leader, you understand all too well about the realities that business leaders worldwide need to face.
Yeah.
Issues about supply chains, trade flows, commodity prices, and the list goes on. How would you prioritize while dealing with the day-to-day changing situation?
Yeah. First of all, you have to develop your own capability and leadership in the company. That not only fostering how to manage these things, but also to be resilient. And this is what's most important. In every year, you have a new challenge. Starting, for example, in the 2019 and early 2020, we have the COVID.
Yeah.
So we have a major disruption to our business. So you have to have a resilience capability within the organization to make sure that they co-op with such kind of challenges. Nowadays, the challenge is even more of what we faced in early 2020 about the COVID-19. These trade wars and these tariffs issues and these supply chain interruptions and also these transition into the clean energy also. It is part of the challenges that we have at this point of time. Climate changes and etc. etc. The low trend in the economy right now, because it's been taking time since 2023, 24, and probably the earlier part of 2025.
Absolutely.
This low trend in the economy, it is also a major challenge. So the secret to the answer of your question is to build resilience within the organization, make sure that you have the leadership capability, and not only regional, because as SABIC, we are a global company, and we serve in more than 50 countries. And it is so crucial that also we build that global leadership resilience that can co-op with such kind of challenges.
New technology, of course, is always very exciting. At the same time, it helps businesses to transform themselves. For your company, this is especially important as a petrochemical company. Now, you have been committing to the decarbonization goals, and you've been doing that step by step. But what do you see is the key now to maintain that speed?
Ms. Tian, it's not only the speed is the one that we are facing.
It's all the quality.
It is the quality, it is the complexity. So, as SABIC, we started in 1976 as a sustainable company. So sustainability is part of our DNA. Sustainability is a core value in the company. Since then, we started a lot of sustainability programs, including the energy intensity, low emissions, conservation in our water consumptions, also reduction in our waste material, and so on and so forth. So decarbonization, definitely, this is one of the most important things for our energy transition and for our climate changes. And it's required, as you have said clearly and rightly, is the technology and technology development. So we in SABIC invest a lot of technology, especially in the chemical recycling, because there is a lot of waste material in the polymers around the globe.
Oh, tell me about it. I got a lot of it at home.
True. So what do you need? The solution for this is this carbon circular economy. Take that carbon molecule. That carbon molecule is so precious that you can take it and recycle it and use it more than one times. You can use it 100 times if you want to. But you need to have the right technology. You need to have the right regulations. Because I mentioned to you, it's not only the speed, it is the complexity. Because every region, every country, they have their own regulations, that they have their own guidance in how to guide the industry, what to do in terms of these decarbonization. So decarbonization is so crucial that you collect all these carbon monoxide or carbon dioxide that goes to the atmosphere, and you collect it and you use it again. And this is what we do in SABIC. we have the largest CO2 plant in the world. It produces almost 500,000 metric ton of CO2 that we captured, we collect, we purify, then we use it again into the industry.
I see.
To the point that we can use it to the beverages and the food segments, that means it is pure. It is more than 99.8% purity that you can use it in the food chain.
The country in which your headquarters is based have been looking at new options rather than going down the road of only fossil fuels.
Yeah.
And that has been a great success over the past years.
True.
However, we also see some other economy, even some of the most advanced economy in the world, talking about drill, baby, drill.
Yeah.
So how do you see this very diverse trends for a fossil fuel-based company, for a fossil fuel-based country,
Right.
has been looking for new options and working very hard on that road, while others going back to the old road.
Yeah.
How are you digesting this?
Okay. In Saudi Arabia, we were blessed by so many things, including, the oil, and including the sun, and including the wind. So in Saudi Arabia, you could find it is one of the best spots to produce solar energy as well as wind energy, in addition to what we have as fossil fuel. So I think the renewable energy is so crucial to the world that they should think, because it is renewable, then you can find it, you can utilize the sun for the solar, you could utilize the wind for producing, electricity. And I think the kingdom, and it has been announced that by the 2030s, part of our vision for 2030, we are going to have 50% of our electric consumption, of our electric demand, is coming from renewable resources. And including SABIC, we are willing to consume more than 50% of our electric demand from the renewable resources. But I will tell you, in the transition, which is one of the challenges that we are facing in how to transit in this energy. The most important is to have a transition to a clean energy, not only to transit from one to the other one. I think it is better that you have a collective of these energy resources and make sure that you invest in the technology to produce it. And the renewable resources, one of the most challenges that they have there is the cost, because you need to have a competitive cost to the conventional energy sources. So in my view, that the whole world will still continue to have a mix of energy resource from renewable as well as from the conventional ones.
There are great cases, if I remember right, reading in the news, that you provide some of the recycled materials for a basketball court.
Right, yes.
In China, in Shanghai.
Yes. Here in China, we have some collaboration of some local companies as well as Aramco, trying to bring some material that it is providing the basketball courts.
Yes.
And 30% of that material is recyclable material. So, and I think that has been demonstrated in at least three sites, and hopefully this is going to be generalized in the whole basketball courts, and not only in the basketball courts, but also on other, courts that can use that material.
Recently, as you have seen, China has put forward a series of policies to attract the foreign investors and to make sure everybody can have more confidence in the Chinese market.
Right.
What do you think among all the policies important to you, to your company, your industry?
Very good. Look, SABIC has been in China for almost 40 years. We are one of the first, global companies that came in the 1980s to China. And we started as a sales and distribution company here in the company. But we, SABIC, we believe in China economy, and we did believe and we still believe in the policies that has been established for the investments. That's why we having a big investments here in China, starting with a joint venture with SABIC and Tian. Now we are building, nowadays, we are building one of the largest petrochemical complex in Fujian, in Gulei Park.
Yeah.
And the investment there is about 44.8 billion yuan. And this complex is going to start it in the second half of next year, 2026. Such kind of investment that we have, so we are working in more than 17 cities in China, and we have one of the largest research and technology centers in Shanghai to serve our customer. So such kind of investment that we have, it is based on our belief that the China policies, and the improvement, by the way, in attracting the investment, we have seen it to the time that now it is so easy that you can get the permission and the permits to make an investment in China, and we have seen it by our eyes.
Technology, market access, business model and cooperation, what do you think will be the most up-to-date version that are important for international investors like yours?
All above. I think it's need to make sure that you have such kind of good investments in the technology, no doubt about this, and understanding also the market. Now, I'm pleased that China now is transforming into a quality rather than volume, which is important. It is transforming to the high-end application and to the quality of the production. And this is what we have done in SABIC since the beginning, because we start by investing in our innovation and technology to make sure we have the right quality of production. And here I think we have experienced that this transformation among the customers and the partners that we are serving here, that the focus on the quality and the focus on the high-end material is taking place.
You are not only working on your own business, but also as a business leader serving others, for example, at B20 last year.
Right.
How do you see business leaders from the leading global companies can play a critical role in making sure the world is going in the right logic?
Yeah, definitely. Look, I can give you just an example of how is this the business that I come from, which is the chemical business.
Yeah.
It represents about 12% in the revenues here in China. So it is a significant revenues. So also as a business leaders, and from my experience in the B20, that it is not easy to bring all the thoughts and the thinking in one direction.
Yeah.
It is hard, but I think the majority of the business leaders in this G20 countries, that they have one objectives and one goals in how to improve and how to increase the GDP, and also in how to work collaboratively in developing technologies, especially for those challenges that we just mentioned related to the climate change or decarbonization and etc. So at least that goal and that objective is unified among the major leaders. But others, I think every country, every leaders, every businesses, they have different views,
circumstances,
different views. But our role here is to make sure that we try to bring these thoughts and this thinking in one direction.
To cooperate on what we can, at least to start with.
Definitely. Yes.
Yeah. Mr. Al-Fageeh, once again, so appreciated.
Thank you very much.